Willow Creek Springs presents Healthy Living with your host, Joe Grumbine.
Well, hello, and welcome back to the Healthy Living Podcast. I'm Joe Grumbine, your host, and today we have a very special guest. His name is Andrew Newland, and he's the founder and CEO of Functional Medicine Marketing, and he's a digital strategist, works with functional and integrative medicine clinics. But this guy has got a lifetime full of medicine and health-related experiences, and I'm excited to have this conversation. Andrew, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Hey, thanks so much, Joe. I'm doing fantastic.
Well, this is an interesting conversation, as everyone tends to be. And, you work with businesses, health-related businesses, which is important. We have a lot of listeners that are practitioners or people in training to be practitioners. And people don't realize that, the passion of working with health and medicine and all of the different modalities is one side of it. And running a business is the other one. And my
So true.
God, oftentimes those two just don't have anything to do with each other, myself included. I'm the worst businessman there is, but I've been spending most of my life, helping people get well. So why don't
Right.
you tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell us your story.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a Colorado Springs native. If you're
Okay.
familiar with Colorado Springs at all, it's very rare to find a native because we have so much military. We've got five different military installations around the city. So
Sure.
it's very, very transient. But my family has actually been here for 5, 6 generations,
Wow.
we love Colorado. Obviously, I love Colorado because of the clean air.
Sure.
And just it's perfect weather as long as you.
Rocky Mountain High.
That's right. If you don't mind some extremes, for sure. So on the health side, I love talking about health, and a lot of that comes from my parents' upbringing. I'm the third out of three, so I'm the youngest. I have a brother and a sister. My parents, so my mom graduated as a dietitian from Colorado State University as a dietitian. So we always grew up, she was very much into health and loved following the trends. And then on the other side, my dad was diagnosed celiac before I was born. And this
Wow.
this was back when,
Nobody knew about gluten.
nobody knew. Yeah, gluten-free wasn't cool, right? There wasn't
Right.
anything out there gluten-free. And so my mom, obviously, she dietitian and an amazing cook and chef, and so she made everything from scratch to
Wow.
be gluten-free for my dad. I remember going over to a friend's house once as a kid, and and his dad ate pizza. And I'd never seen a dad eat pizza before.
Wow.
In my little brain, my thought was all dads don't eat the same thing that I can.
Sure.
Yeah, and it just blew my mind. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, there's gluten-free pizza like everywhere, and
Everything. Yeah.
my dad's happy as a clam now because
Sure.
he's 83, 84, and he'll get that gluten-free pizza when he can.
Now he gets his pizza. I love it.
Yeah, for sure. So growing up, and so my dad, he did juice cleanses. He was every Sunday we would make fresh juice. That was back in the 80s when juicing was the big
Yeah,
craze.
yeah. The Vitamixer was out there. Yeah.
Absolutely. The champion juicer, that's what, oh man, the
Yeah.
big motor, man, that thing could juice anything. And
Exactly.
my dad drank so much carrot juice, he turned his skin orange,
Sure. Absolutely. I think we've all done that a little bit if we're go a little crazy.
Exactly. So, health wise, so then I got asthma as a kid. I had my appendix burst when I
Oh
was
no.
had pneumonia numerous times. So just a lot of gut wrecking things that happened to me. And then my wife and I met in school, in college, and got married. And then we had kids really young. We had a different business at the time, landscaping business here in Colorado Springs, and just you start eating the fast food, and you start just
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
the fat,
Self-employed people have the worst diets ever. Yeah.
Oh, totally. I mean, we were so exhausted with four little kids, and I was,
Right.
shoveling rock all day, and and so obviously you put on the weight, and you start getting symptoms, and you get all the stuff, right? It's all of this
Inflammation
stuff.
becomes your your companion.
Exactly. Yeah, it's taking ibuprofen every night, Tums every night, started getting allergies, never had allergies before, put on 40 pounds.
Hey, yeah,
Just and you hit your 30s and your body can't handle that stuff
yeah. Wait
anymore.
till you get
Yeah, and
better.
so yeah, and so we stumbled upon a functional medicine doctor,
All right.
and and then we got super excited. My wife and I both had that history growing up, where both of our parents were very healthy, and so that's it was easy for us to go, what are we doing, and come
Right.
back to this health wise, and so just totally I mean, lost all the weight, got rid of the heartburn and the headaches, and was finally putting on muscle, and just feeling the best I've ever felt. And so with that in
Probably the good thing is that you had a healthy body previously, and so generally you recover quicker, muscle memory recovers, your body knows how to be healthy when it's been healthy.
and that's exactly it. So that I'm every day very thankful to my parents for
Yeah.
that foundation, right? That
A
healthy
baseline,
foundation,
right? Yeah.
right? And in your 30s, you still bounce back pretty fast,
Yeah.
which is wonderful. I wish I was still, of
Absolutely.
course, but
I
so
hear you.
that time we transitioned from having a landscaping business, and we started a marketing agency, and that was going pretty well. We were helping just kind of everybody, local businesses, used car dealerships, local banks, public schools. I mean, we were helping everybody. But
Sure.
then after our experience with that functional medicine practitioner, we got to thinking, this is amazing. We want to help. We want to change the health of our communities. We're not practitioners, but what can we do? We know marketing. So
Right.
that's why we started functional medicine marketing. And our mission is to help practitioners help more people. So help you
Right.
help more people.
Yeah, yeah. I love it.
And so and there's also a lot of correlations between our getting to the root cause of our health, and getting to the root cause of marketing issues. And if you're out there today and you have a practice, or you're thinking about starting a practice, make sure you have the same mindset of getting to the root cause and not looking for magic pills when it comes to marketing.
100%. Yeah, it's just like everything, people think that somebody comes along and sells you a silver bullet, and generally there's a half filled with snake oil, because most problems don't have a single solution. Generally, I'm in the process of overcoming a very aggressive cancer right now, and the solution was so many faceted that it would make your head spin. But the truth is, everybody came to me with, "You just got to do this, just got to do that," and it's
Right.
not like that. Business is the same. It's a complicated world we live in, and there's so many variables in every aspect of it. So you can't think that just one thing. As a self-employed guy, I fell victim to that myself. I was like, well, if I just put out a good product, it'll sell
Exactly.
itself. I won't have to do shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It works for a while to a point sometimes, but then you fool yourself and you think, oh, that's all I got to do. And then something happens like COVID and everything comes crashing down on you, and you're like, oh man, I don't know what to do
that's
now.
exactly. Yeah, and I talk to a lot of practitioners that are amazing with patients.
Hmm.
I mean, they're detectives when it comes to health. They can dig in for hours and hours on lab results, and I mean, they're just amazing at getting health results. But like you said, horrible at business, and they just think it's like the old movie, right? Field of Dreams. If we build it, they will come,
Exactly.
and that doesn't work. It
At
just
all. Or
doesn't.
maybe, like I said, sporadically it might work here and there, but
For sure, for sure.
business has to be consistent and growth has to be consistent, or it's not business anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, and everybody I talk to, when I hear about their story about starting a business, they all started with word of mouth.
Yeah.
And that's how you grow. You
Right.
talk to family and friends, they talk to family and friends, and then you start producing a great result or service or business, and that word of mouth start expanding. But hands down, every time it either plateaus or starts dropping off.
Right. Yeah,
Whether
there's a
it
place where people don't talk to each other enough to sustain growth. And I mean, I guess occasionally there's a practitioner that hits a spot and says, I'm good. And and maintains their clients and grows enough. And, but most businesses don't work that way. They take on an employee, take on an office, all of a sudden you get overhead.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you need growth or you start going backwards.
Yeah. And that's exactly it. And it's easy to think, okay, I need growth and I want it. And so maybe I'll put a few Facebook posts out or something.
Right.
And it doesn't. And I love how you're laughing because that doesn't work.
Oh, at
It
all.
doesn't work. And
Yeah.
if I can dispel one myth today,
Right.
you could post on Facebook and Instagram 20 times a
Every
day
day. Yeah.
and never get a new client or
Nothing
patient.
comes. Yeah.
Never.
Or maybe once in a while one will, but not enough to sustain it. You can boost it all day long. You can do all that. And I don't know anybody that's built their business that way for real.
Yeah, yeah, and we all see the influencers, right, where they're
Oh
getting
yeah.
all this traction.
And they're like 1/100th of 1% of the
Exactly.
people
Yeah,
out
and
there.
they're not local. They're tapping into a national or worldwide audience.
Exactly. They're in Singapore or somewhere. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And here's a statistic for you. So when you post on like a business page, your Facebook business page, if you just do an organic post, which means you're not putting any money behind it, you're just posting, right? It's free. You make a video or you have a graphic or something. You'll be lucky if you reach 2.6% of your followers.
Right.
And those are already people that follow you.
Yep.
So you have 1,000 people that follow you, you might reach 26 people that already follow you. So if you're trying to reach new people,
Right. It doesn't happen.
it's virtually impossible. Like you said, you'll get occasionally
Randomly something will happen, but you can flip a coin 100 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times, maybe once it'll land on its side. But you're certainly not gonna, make a living doing that.
Yeah, exactly. That's not reproducible marketing for sure.
And I can attest to that. I have a small business and I post things just so that it's a lighthouse and maybe somebody will see it. But I have no expectations of in business growth. It's just a way for me to put out a message here and there, and it
Yeah,
makes a record of things for me. But that's it. I
sure.
don't expect any more.
It's vital. Don't get me wrong. It's
Yeah,
necessary, but it's in the marketing world. All these different services, all these different platforms are different pieces to the marketing puzzle. You
right.
need all of the pieces to make a good marketing puzzle.
For
And
sure.
those organic posts are much more support to your website and to your online presence. So,
Mm,
a common user journey is somebody they hear about functional medicine or they've already known about it, but now they're getting a symptom of some kind. So what do? They go to Google and they type in thyroid doctor near me or functional medicine hormone clinic or whatever it is.
sure.
Comes up, they go to the website, they look around for a little bit, they never read all the content, right?
No,
They skim it, and then what do? They
you're
want
gonna get a 1.2 minutes if you're lucky.
if
Like
you're
if you
lucky.
get that, you just scored.
You got it. And so often they'll read a little bit and they'll scroll down and go to the social platforms to
Yep.
check you out. So you need content because if you haven't posted in 6 months, you're going
Then
to
you're not real. Yeah.
subconsciously losing some trust and authority. So it's a support, not that active piece out there getting in front of people. There are great
100%.
ways to do that, but just posting on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok is not it.
Correct.
Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah, for sure.
So let's say I'm a practitioner and I'm listening to this and I'm like, wow, that sounds interesting. What sort of things do you offer?
So we are a full service agency. So we do everything. So from website builds to maintenance, edits to SEO, ad campaigns, Google, Facebook and Instagram ads. We do the social media posting, emails, integrations, automations, all of those. But at the center, the pinnacle and the cornerstone of our marketing strategy is SEO. And if you're not familiar with SEO, SEO stands for search engine optimization. So back to that kind of user journey I talked about, what do people do? They go to Google. So if you're on the second to third to fifth page of Google, nobody's going to find you. So
Right.
SEO, the goal of SEO is to get your website and your Google listing up on that first page for a lot of great keywords. So if you're a functional medicine doctor, you for sure should be showing up for functional medicine in Colorado Springs or wherever you're at. So SEO is that pinnacle point because the most trusted platform to grow your practice is Google. That's the most trusted platform where people are going to go. They might see something on social, they might read an email or a blog, but in the end, when they're looking for a practitioner or a provider, they're going to go to Google. And so that's what we center on. And then everything else supports that.
Okay.
It's very much like back to functional medicine or just our health in general. It's getting to that root cause, fixing the foundation, which raises. It's like the tide that raises all the boats, right? You start
Sure.
seeing symptoms going away because you're taking care of your gut health, because you're taking
Right.
care of, you're getting good sleep, you're getting good exercise and
Right,
eating.
right, right. There's a cascading health effect, just like a cascading negative effect can happen.
Exactly. And so that's just good marketing strategy, is keeping all of those things in mind. I need a great puzzle. I need a full puzzle. I have clients that want to look at one puzzle piece and go, this isn't working, and throw it out. Well,
Hmm.
you can't really do that. That's like throwing, you know what, I'm not sleeping well. Let's throw that one out. Or
Gotta give it a shot. Yeah.
yeah. So really SEO, the problem with SEO is it takes a lot of time. It's terribly slow, and I will never set up some kind of unrealistic expectation that we're going to solve all your problems in a month. If
Right.
somebody comes to me and says, "Hey, I got to turn this ship around, or else I'm going to have to close my doors in a month or two," I tell them, don't hire me, keep that money, so you can go on a little bit longer,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I can't solve anybody's problems in a month or two. It's just like, I'm 45. The problems that I have now, my knee, or a little bit of extra weight that I need to get rid of, I didn't get it overnight, and
Yeah.
so I'm not going to get rid of it overnight.
I
It,
think that's interesting though, because as a small business owner, we don't know these things. And so, for me, I've always avoided the SEO stuff because for the reason that you just mentioned, I look at it and every time somebody talks about something, you hear the same thing. Well, it takes time. And you're like, well, okay, what does that mean?
yeah,
And so you think yourself, you're getting into this black hole because nobody can guarantee you anything. Nobody
sure, yep,
can give you even a point to stand on to say, well, you can expect this at this sort of point,
right.
and everything costs a bunch of money. So you're just
Yeah.
like, well, okay, how does this make any sense? Unless maybe you've got the perspective of seeing it work and realize that, well, sometimes things do take a lot of time.
Yeah, and there's KPIs that we want to meet at each kind of benchmark point, right? And
Mhm.
so a lot of, and that's the other thing. SEO is so ambiguous.
Right.
There's so many things that you can do on the back end, and there's a lot of agencies out there saying they're doing SEO, and that all
Exactly.
they're doing is they're doing a simple listing management service,
Yeah.
which you do not need a marketing agency to do a
Right.
listing management. You
Yeah,
go
there's plugins that do all that. Yeah.
there's so many platforms that you can do that for 30 to 50 bucks a month. But I can
Right.
tell you this, just doing listing management is not going to move the needle for SEO. So
Right.
this is, if you have a company out there or you're looking to hire a company, here's the three things that you need to ask that company what they're doing for SEO. Say every month, what are you doing for technical SEO? What SEO content are you writing? And then what are you doing for my local SEO? So that's the three parts to a good comprehensive SEO program: technical, content, and local. All of those things that we have a strategy that we've specifically created for functional, integrative, and obviously that's a very general term for really anything in the health industry as far as
Yeah, why
business.
don't you get into, so a lot of our listeners are new and they're coming into this just looking to find answers for health. But when we talk about functional medicine, why don't you talk about the range of services that you're dealing with?
Yeah, absolutely. So functional medicine is really just a super general term for non-allopathic medicine. So you've got traditional medicine over here where there's a symptom, and you give, it's kind of a pill
Get a
for a
drug. Right.
yeah. Obviously, there's great things about traditional medicine mindset, but functional medicine's goal is to get to the root cause. So there's a lot of different kind of nuances within functional medicine. Integrative medicine tends to pull in more kind of technical modalities where maybe they're doing, they'll do a lot of IV therapy, they're going to do a lot of red light therapy, and there's just, multiple different things within um, uh, energy and vibrations and electricity, because our bodies are very electrical, and so there's a
Yeah.
lot that you can do with that. So integrative tends to pull in a lot of those modalities, where a strictly functional medicine doctor is going to be more, let's do some deep lab testing and really get to, more than just what your traditional primary care doctor is going to do. Let's really dig down and see what's going on in your blood. Kind of the motto of a functional medicine doctor is we don't guess, we test. And then they can work with your full lifestyle. So it's going to be diet, it's going to be exercise, it's going to be sleep. Some of them really delve into more emotional, spiritual things, as we are very, it's very holistic as far as our bodies go. So you've got MDs that are functional medicine. You got integrative. And integrative does a lot of holistic cancer care or care support. And then you also have acupuncture. You've got chiropractor. You've got all the way to some more of the very Eastern type medicine, and obviously we'll help anybody because we understand the whole gamut as far as that goes. So we also actually help a lot of direct primary care practices as well, where they're still traditional, but they're offering a medical membership, basically. So you pay, just like for Netflix, you're paying a monthly to watch shows on Netflix. The same goes for DPC, where you pay to get direct, quick access to your primary care doctor.
Hi, this is Joe Grumbine, and I wanted to share an update. The platform that hosts this podcast has made some changes to the subscriber settings, and we have a number of subscriber-only episodes that we offer to the supporters, and for a minimum of $3 a month, we can get you signed up. And if you're already signed up and you're having some kind of trouble locating these episodes in the other platforms, I would say maybe the best answer is to unsubscribe and then resubscribe. I'm sorry for the hassle. I don't have any way to make a change, but I'm very grateful for all the support. Thank you.
So as a marketing business, how do you focus your practice, if you will, on this topic rather than just, marketing is marketing?
Yeah, for sure. So I hear a lot of times, say a functional medicine practice or acupuncture clinic, they had a marketing agency, but they just had to take so much time to educate the marketing agency and what they actually do, because it is still unique in our society and our culture. So one of the things that we have to offer is we understand functional medicine and all of the peripheral things. So when we write content, say for SEO, there's not a lot of back and forth with the doctor. I hear all the time, today I had a bunch of approvals on content and they said, this looks great, this is perfect. And these are hard to please doctors when it comes to content. So
you have the vocabulary down, you have the
exactly.
context down, and you don't have to learn the topic in order to
exactly
do things.
Yep. In the end, SEO is SEO.
Sure.
Running great Google ads is going to be the same. But the thing that separates us, one, we have comprehensive, personalized. Everybody gets a unique strategy depending on their clinic, depending on the area that they're reaching. So nobody's shoved into a template box or anything like that. But we also understand, we understand what they do, who their ideal new audience is, and how to reach them consistently.
So give me an example of a client that came to you and it was sort of their, a remarkable story.
For sure, yeah. Actually, a clinic. We have practices and clients all over the country. I don't think we have any international currently, but all over the country. But somebody actually pretty close to me. Actually, he's my doctor. A functional medicine practice. In Woodland Park, which is just adjacent to Colorado Springs. They came to us. They tried some other kind of fly-by-night marketing strategies that promised that they were going to get, the 30 new patients in 30 seconds for 30 cents. It's that magic pill concept, which clearly didn't work. So they sunk a bunch of money into that and just wasted cost. So they came to us, kind of hesitant, of course. There's a lot of persona around marketing that, we're kind of the used car salesman of the digital world. And so we never ask anybody to sign a contract. We just go month to month to earn that trust. We don't have any hidden fees. We get back to people very quickly. So we started working for them. And at that time, so they offered a high ticket functional medicine kind of program. So they were helping people with severe autoimmune disease, Lyme disease, just really entrenched. So their program is a little higher cost because it needed to be, a lot of time. So when they came to us, they were getting less than one new patient a month. Now, one new patient obviously would provide a good bit of money for them because the program was a little more expensive. So before they started with us, maybe they would get 10 welcome calls, something like that, kind of discovery calls that were turning into less than one patient a month. After about 8 months working with us, they were consistently hitting 10 new patients a month. So,
Nice.
That doesn't sound like a terrible lot, obviously, but for them, that was monstrous growth.
Right.
I had another clinic in Boston.
Well, and also their clients are not a one-time shopper. Generally, you have somebody, if you're doing your job right, you end up getting friends and family out of them, and they come back multiple times.
Yeah, it's something that we call the lifetime value of the patient.
Right.
So it's rarely, hopefully, it's not just that first appointment or the first program, but you're going to have them. Generally in functional medicine, you'll have a patient for 2+ years. So it's important to understand, and in any business, what's the lifetime value of your client? So that's you want to calculate that when you're deciding, okay, how much am I going to spend on my marketing? What's it cost to acquire this new client or patient? There was another clinic in Boston, and they had more of a membership, kind of a functional medicine membership model. And when they came to us, they were getting about 15 to 20 new members a month in that. After I think it's 5-6 months, they were getting 100 new members a month working with us. Obviously, that's a lower cost, right?
Right.
And they had a membership model, and they would move if they had more severe issues, they would move them into more of that, more intense program. So, a couple different things there. In the end, the thing that really gets me jazzed up is I'm helping practitioners help people like I was helped. There's this hopelessness. We get told, well, you're just old. You just got to get used to the pains and the tiredness.
It's going to be that way. Yeah.
Yeah. This is just normal. It unfortunately normal, but it doesn't have to be who you have to be, right?
Exactly.
And so often the tests that get run, we get put into this normal. Well, everybody I talk to feels bad. So the normal is bad. Like I want to be better than normal. I want to thrive. And so I love it when we're helping a client and I see testimonials coming in or Google reviews coming in where they were hopeless. They had they'd just kind of given up, and this was their last, kind of their last ditch effort. And now all of a sudden they're sleeping at night.
Nice.
Their anxiety is going down. They're dropping weight that they could never drop. Maybe they're decreasing their diabetes medication or even getting off of it. And so, and so I take a little bit of that because I brought that person in. So I get to facilitate life change. Obviously, I could talk about marketing all day long, but really my passion is let's change the health of our communities by getting to the root cause, okay, what's actually going on? And then let's educate people on, hey, what you put in your mouth is going to cause you to feel certain things. So all of that's important. So I get jazzed about that.
No, that's fantastic. Well, we're just about short on time. So this is the part where you get to tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
Oh, would love to chat with anybody. If you're out there and you have a business, you have a practice, even if it's not functional medicine, I would love to just give you some advice. I make a free website evaluation video, very specifically focused on SEO, really as a way to educate and to tell people, hey, here's some things that you can do, whether you hire us or not. So if you go to our website, it's functionalmedmarketing.com. functionalmedmarketing.com. And you can reach out to me there. I've got my cell numbers on there. There's forms, my email. You can just reach out and say, hey, I'd love to chat. I'd love to get your perspective on my website. That's something I'd like to offer for free. I do about a 10 to 15 minute website evaluation at no cost.
Nice. Well, Andrew, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. And, as much as I'm all about, the total picture, I think this is an important facet, and we need to support our practitioners and let them practice their medicine.
Yeah, definitely. Joe, I thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. Well, this has been another edition of the Healthy Living Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Grumbine, and I thank you for all your support. We'll see you next time.
This has been another episode of the Healthy Living Podcast. We produce this show so that people can share their stories, people that have overcome obstacles, people that are undergoing obstacles. We're building a community of health-minded individuals. If you're interested in supporting the show, please leave a review on the platform you're listening to it on. If you're interested in becoming a guest, please send an email to itsjoegrumbine@gmail.com, or you can send a note into the notes section of the podcast. All right. Well, thank you for supporting this show, and we hope you've enjoyed it.